Alright, what's going on, guys? We are finally here with the final chapter of Claymore, chapter 155. It's titled Last Scene, Silver-Eyed Warriors, Part 6. Um, I really don't have... There's so many emotions, man. So many emotions. Um, I guess I'll get all sentimental at the end, but let's just jump into this, man, for the last time. Um, Beautiful, beautiful cover page to start off with. All right, so that's it, man. People rise from dust, and to dust they return, and that leads to new life. Wow, dude. Also, you might hear rain in the background. I apologize. Um, that's it, man. It's the end of the battle. Like, we've been doing this for so long. And Rocky, man, cry while you can because you mustn't cry in front of Claire. I didn't even think about that too, right? Like, he spent, I don't remember exactly how much time he spent traveling with Eastley and Priscilla, but obviously, despite everything, there's still some form of attachment there, purely based off of the time that the two of them spent together. So of course he's gonna be pretty beat up about this. Um, wait, Teresa. Wait, Teresa, please don't go. Teresa, stay with me. Claire, I told you, I was always inside you, and I always will be. I haven't come back to life. I'm a lingering spirit born of an unfinished task. Your strong feelings gave me form. You might say I'm a phantom of your remarkable spirit. That's why I was so strong. I was stronger than anything because that's how you imagined me. My original awakened form could not have so thoroughly beaten her. Your emotion did that. Teresa. The strength of your heart and your experiences, skill, and feeling for me released Priscilla, but I provided the impetus. Isn't that what Rafaela said, right? Um, that Claire needs to remember like all of like her knowledge and her experiences, something along those lines, when speaking to Claire. Um, okay, so I had a job to finish and something to say. Now that I'm done, the spirit body must fade, but you must keep living. And unlike before, you have comrades to live by your side. Smile for me, Claire. This is goodbye, so let me see you smile. Oh, man. Come to me. Oh, no, my heart. And then went back to Claire as a kid. I'm gonna fucking cry, man. I'm gonna fucking cry. God. I had an emotional day, man. I was watching someone's reaction or a group of people's reaction to um the episode where in Naruto Shippuden where Kushina and Minato died for Naruto. I was a sobbing mess. I'm in a very vulnerable state, man. I should not have read this today. Um, come to me, Teresa, or come to me, Claire. Teresa, I'm so glad I could see you, Teresa. So am I. I'm glad to see how you've grown. Oh, look at Claire's face too. I guess we'll always be together, right, Teresa? You're smiling but covered in snot. But it's typical of you, so I like it. God, what an incredible like last thing to say to her as well. And then also like I want to give credit to like just the fact that like one of my biggest issues with like just deaths in general, it's a very fine line, right? In terms of like how much does the character who's dying, like how much do they say, right? The whole trope of like a last speech or like a death speech, right? And for me, it can, depending how long those speeches go, it can always take me out of the moment, right? If it's like a really long, drawn out speech of like, oh, like I want you to know how much I cared about you, and things along that line, and they go on and on and on, then it could kind of be like, okay, like let's get to it. But I really appreciate like, you know, like it was very like succinct and quick, right? We didn't need to be in this moment for too long, and I feel like satisfied between this final conversation. Like it was quick, but I feel completely satisfied by it. Like I feel like the things that needed to be said were said, right? Um, and I really appreciate that. Are you all right, Claire? I feel like I've been dreaming. The distant past and recent events and the future, they were all in my dream. Claire, I. Hey, what gives, Miria? It's nothing. You did well, Claire. You're one hell of a fighter. There. Oh, look at Donovan and Helen. Oh. There, Claire. Yeah, you have my respect. She's blushing. What did Teresa tell you? Uma? You too? I think Claire will be I think Claire will be a child longer than you think, Rocky. You must care for her. She just left someone important. Thank you, Claire. It's strange for me to say thanks, but that's all I can think of to say. You may not understand why, but I truly mean it. Let's go, Rocky. We'll all live on and walk the road ahead. Oh man. Man, I'm really messed up, man. This is gonna be my last time seeing Claire. Oh God. Oh, Rubel. I guess my road ends here. Oh, interesting. Oh, they just let him go. Aren't you going to kill me? Miria's orders. If a man in dark glasses is going east, let him pass. Tell the others of the other lands nothing remains here. We're done fighting others' battles. However, if you try anything against us, every silver-eyed warrior will be a blade falling upon your neck. Cool. How scary. Very well. I do value my own skin. I'll disappear to remote regions. Blades, huh? After all, you are Claymores. What's the matter? I'm barely tipsy. Daytrich. You girls are all talk. Of course Galatea can hold down her alcohol. I won't let that pass. Shall we take you on next? Fine. I can take all of you at once. The scenery sure takes me back. As you keep saying, but when do we reach your home? Oh, knock it off. We can take it slow. We've got plenty of time. So Deneva and Helen are traveling together? That's cool. I mean, yeah, I mean they are a perfect match together. Um yeah, I mean they're to me they've always seemed like a pair, right? A duo. So it would make sense if everyone's going like their own separate ways. It totally makes sense that they would stick together and go off alone. Um, Take my sword, Tabitha. Your sword isn't done yet. Captain Miria, yes. I'm going to finish off every last Yoma. An awakened being still out there. Hmm. I hit her, but she's tough. Huh? Claire? She escaped slaughter once before, so who knows? What are you talking about? So yeah, and now Rocky and Claire are going off. I'm confused. That was Rafaela's story if questioned by the organization. She was prepared to leave if necessary. Oh, look who we're seeing. Interesting. recognize that Yoma energy, but it's much calmer now. I'm drawing on Rafaela's emotions and memories from 7 years ago. I came to give back what I borrowed, but it looks like there's no need now. There's a lot for us to discuss. Oh, that's it? Oh, I I was I felt like we had a lot left. That's it? That's where we're ending? Okay, wow. Do you guys feel the same way that I do? That that was like pretty abrupt, but all right. Okay. Huh. I mean, I think it's really cool that we came back to see her. Um, I think it's really cool that we came back to see her. Honestly, I didn't think we'd ever see her again. To be honest. Um, huh. All right. So going back to page 23. Um. All right. So take my sword, Tabitha. Your sword isn't done yet, Captain Miria. Yes. I'm going to finish off every last Yoma and awakened being still out there. I'm. It's weird because like I don't know if this is like if this is a translation error or what, but just the transition from Miria saying yes, I'm going to finish off every last. Okay, so it's almost like she's being asked like a question like Miria, like what are you going to do? But it's just weird that it's just flat out Captain Miria, and then Miria immediately goes, "Yes, I'm going to finish off every last Yoma." Like clearly there's already a discussion being had about that, but like the context just really isn't there, if that makes sense. um yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out as I was reading it initially. Like, okay, is Miria saying that she's going off to finish off every last Yoma? But yeah, clearly she is. So I mean that's cool for her. And then Denva and Helen going off to Helen's home. um yeah, I mean, huh. I don't know, man. Like I loved the stuff between Claire and Teresa in this chapter, but then like everything else felt like I don't know. I wanted more. Like this felt like really really quick. Um, that's it. That's it for Claymore, man. Oh man, this series. Um, I felt like I was immediately hooked. Because I began with the anime first, and I was immediately hooked with the episode that Therese dies, right? Like that was such a gut punch to me that I feel like I had up to that point in my sort of like history watching anime, I really haven't felt at that time. And once I finished the anime and I heard that the anime wasn't an exact adaptation towards the end, I was like, okay, I need to read the manga, and I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad that I did. Um, so yeah, I think this whole ending, like how it did end off with like this whole like link, um, and essentially Claire achieving like a perfect awakened form, right, with Teresa. I think it's really cool because this is something that has been set up since the beginning. Ever since Claire had that like awakening scare back at the cathedral way back when, right? And then you even go back to looking at Alicia and Beth, Raphael and Luciella, um, and then sort of the major like revelation that we got in knowing that okay, you don't necessarily need to be twins in order to have such a like in order to have that link, right? I.e., Miata and Clarice being the prime example of that. um and then you look to those two characters, and if a bond between two people is like that strong, or a certain level, then yeah, you can achieve that link as well. Um, so yeah, even though it kind of did feel like holy crap, like Teresa's here, like what, where did that come from? Once you actually like kind of sit down and think about it, it's like, oh yeah, this has definitely kind of been um built up for like a really really long time. So I'm definitely appreciative of that. Um, I don't know. I really don't know what else to. I don't know if anyone else feels. similarly to me about this, but like my my biggest disappointment with Claymore is that once we hit um possibly what was like the one of the biggest moments in the entire series, the revelation of like who the Claymores are and sort of their place in sort of like the grander world, right? And like the true motives of the organization and who they are. The dragon people or whatever, and the fact that, Miria and the Claymores are essentially just like on this like island, right? And there's like a bigger continent out there and like a bigger world, obviously. Like once we got that revelation, I was like, okay, like here we go. Like now we're kind of like the floodgates are open, and now like anything is possible, right? Um, like now it feels like the series is like really starting to begin, or not begin, but you know what I mean. Like now it's almost like like we're moving, very clearly into phase two of this manga. And it's literally going to be like like uncharted waters, right? But we didn't get that. We didn't get that at all. That was definitely the biggest surprise to me, is that we remained on this island or this continent, wherever we are, for the entirety of the manga, right? Um, yeah, I would have liked to have explored, other places, for sure. Especially with it was such a big tease, right? It was such a big tease. I don't know if I'm alone in feeling that disappointment, but um then again, man, if there ever was a sequel manga, and I don't think that there will be because this ended in what, like 2015. But there you go. I feel like that's a perfect, like, you already have the foundation right there for a sequel manga. Like, yeah, take all the characters over to the other continent or whatever to explore the wider world. Um but I do also at the same time like in this chapter that, with Rubel and those other two claymores, um that like essentially like, hey, like don't tell any of the other lands, that or actually, yeah, tell the other lands that there's nothing here, right? That nothing remains here. um so essentially it's like, I don't want to call it like their paradise, but yeah, like the claymores have essentially secured their own land, sort of, that's like separated from everyone else. They don't have to worry about outside interference, right? It For the first time, it feels like this place is like strictly their own now, which is really really cool, right? It's a really cool like resolution, or like just ending in general for like all the claymores. um so that was definitely nice. um yeah, I don't I really don't know what else to say. Favorite characters, man, obviously like Deneva, Helen, Galatea are like my top three, but obviously Reeful and Dolph, I gotta give them a shout out because they are they their relationship, man, is was some really really unexpectedly some really strong stuff for me. um you're just seeing like how like they were like the definition of like ride or die for each other. And I really, and it was almost like just like the most unlikely pair at the same time, right? But that relationship absolutely worked for me. um so I really enjoyed their characters. um Man, in terms of like moments, major moments, um I think really just like that first arc of like, after the time skip, like the return or like the emergence of the seven ghosts against Reeful, like that span of chapters was like a really really fun read. Um, I'm also remembering Luciella versus Eastleigh as well. That was a really cool moment, if I recall correctly. Um, and yeah, I mean, Rigaldo as well, man. I mean, just thinking back, right? Like Rigaldo versus Claire, Jean, her character I didn't even get to talk about, but just thinking back, man, this manga truly was peppered in with so many great moments, um, just throughout, and the cast was an absolute delight to follow, right? From Galatea, Miria, Claire, Helen, Deneva, right? Deneva specifically, seeing her development, right? and taking up the two swords eventually. Like specifically her, like I feel like she, like Deneva specifically got like the most development. Um, I think. But yeah, Deneva easily is like probably top two characters for me. She was awesome. Um, but yeah, man, I I don't know what else to say. Just truly, guys, thank you so much for following the every comment that you guys sent me. Even the long and extensive ones, man. It was great to get that clarification for a series like this where there was definitely a lot to unpack with each and every chapter. So I'm just really appreciative of you guys sticking by me, and just I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys enjoyed this read along, man. And I guess that's it. That's it. Um, Claymore, I will miss you, man. I will miss you so much. Claire, I will miss you so much. Um, like, comment, subscribe for more. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.